Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. This is gonna be our first mat Pilates class together. I'm so excited that you're here and moving with me. All you'll need today is a pair of dumbbells. I've got a pair of 5 pounds here, so you can use heavier or lighter, whatever you're feeling. Feel free to have a couple of pairs if you wanna swap out for certain exercises. Totally cool. It's also okay to move without weights. Without further ado, we're gonna get started. So you're gonna grab your weights. You're gonna meet me down on your back. You're gonna bring your arms up overhead, finding a nice neutral spine here. So what does a neutral spine mean? All it means is that you want to feel a little bit of space underneath your low spine. So if you ever want to find your neutral spine, I always recommend doing some pelvic tilts. So what you want to do is, as you inhale, you want to pop your ribs and really arch your back while keeping your tailbone on the mat. And then as you exhale, you're going to sink down, rounding the tailbone in the low back so you hit your low back to your mat. Again, you're going to inhale and tilt as much as you can. You want to find as much of an extreme on either side as possible. And then as you exhale, you're tucking that tailbone. Once you've done a few of these, you can find some space in the middle that feels comfortable, and that would be your neutral spine. Then from here, you want to engage that core. So we're going to think about having a nice zipper at the bottom of your abs. And instead of sucking in the core, you're not going to really feel much engagement. You want to find length. So think about zipping up your zipper while holding your neutral spine. You'll find length in your midsection as opposed to sucking in your core. When you feel ready, you're going to bring your legs up to tabletop. Inhale to stay. As you exhale, let's take the right leg, send it long, curling up, and sweep the arms forward. Inhale, you're going to bring arms and leg back to tabletop. Again, exhale, let's go to the same side here, sweeping those arms straight down. Right leg, single leg extension. Inhale to return. That left leg is going to stay at 90. And then inhale to return. On these ab curls, we want to make sure that you're leading with a slight head nod and that you're not leading with the neck and kind of bunching it together. So that's going to cause a lot of excess tension over time that you don't want. So you want just a slight head nod looking past your left knee. And then inhale, you're going to release the head, neck, and shoulders. We want to keep the chin and chest separated here. Big, loud exhale through the mouth. You'll feel that core pop on. Inhale to return everything. Let's go for another 4 here. Really finding flexion in your low back as you ab curl. Give me 2 more like this. The next time we curl up, we're going to hold here. You're going to give me 1 switch of the legs. You're going to go back to the right side, and then you're going to inhale, return. So you're going to curl up, right leg goes long. Give me a switch back to the right leg, and you're going to inhale, return everything. Exhale again, we curl up. Try to get the shoulder blades off your mat here. Inhale to come down. Now, if the weights become too heavy, your option is to drop the weights. Hands can go behind the head, or you can reach the arms forward. Totally up to you. I'm just going to keep going with my weights here. We keep working on the same side. Switch, switch, inhale, return. Good. We're going to do 1 more like this. We're going to add on another layer. Inhale to come in. Exhale here. We're going to go for that switch, switch, arms curl, arms release, and then bring it all in. Exhale, coming on up. We switch, switch, arms curl, release, bring them back down on that inhale. Again, exhale, curl up, and switch, switch, curl, release, bring it all down. Let's go for a few more here. Exhale up, switch, switch, curl, release. Inhale down. We got 2 more here. Exhale, curl up. We switch, arms curl, release, bring it back. I'm starting to shake. Give me 1 more here. Exhale, curl, hold. We switch, arms curl. From here, hold. Just give me those switches. We exhale for 8, 7. Drop those weights if you need to. We're going to go into those bicep curls in 3. Give me 2. Last one, right leg stays long, just curl for 5. For 4, left leg finds tabletop. 3, we rest in 2. Last one, finish your curl, and come all the way down. Nice work. Drop the feet. You can windshield wiper the legs here. Okay, let's go to the other side here. So bringing those weights back up overhead, legs up to tabletop. Give yourself a couple of stretches if you need it. Pause if you need to. We're just gonna go right back to the top here. So ab curl, left leg this time, send it out. Arm sweep. Inhale, arms up, leg in. Exhale, out. Inhale, return. When you're doing these ones, we wanna make sure that we try to keep our weight equal in the hips. Sometimes we wanna open up a little bit. So we wanna keep that weight fairly equal so that you're not kind of feeling any rock and roll motions from side to side. And the lower that you send that leg out, the more pressure it's gonna put on your core. And that can be a good pressure if your core is strong enough. But if you're not quite there yet, don't be afraid to limit your range, maybe even just lifting the leg up towards the sky instead of sending it out long. Or if you have any kind of knee or nerve issues, I would recommend keeping your leg a little bit higher. Let's go for another 3 here. Inhale, coming in. Exhale. The next time we curl up, we're gonna hold and add those bicycle switches. So give me one full switch here. Left leg sends out, coming in on that inhale. Exhale, coming out. We switch, switch, bring that left leg in. Taking your time here. We don't wanna rush these. When you're finding this ab curl, we wanna go into an imprinted spine. So we find that flexion like we did earlier in our little core warm up. Imprinting just means you're tucking your tailbone and you're gonna come up into a little bit of flexion. So flattening your low back on the mat here is really gonna help support your low back. We're gonna go for 2 more like this. We're gonna add those bicycle curls with our bicep curls. Last one here. And here we go. We exhale, we switch, switch, curl, release, bring it all in. Exhale, send it out. We switch, you curl, release, bring it in. Exhale again. We got 4 here. Let's go for 3. Little exhales as you go into those bicycle switches. We've got 2 more like this. Bring it all in. Last one right here. Finish off these bicycles. Good. Arms long. We switch. We switch. We switch. Switch. Let's go for 4. We're going to finish with a little bicycle hold. 2. Last one. Not bicycle. I meant tabletop. Hold it here. Bicep curl for 5. We've got 4. Give me 3. Little higher on those curls. Last one. And bring it all down. Oh, goodness. Drop the weights. Windshield wiper the legs. Take a quick rest here. If you want to stretch out that core, you can send the legs out nice and long. Bring the arms out beside the ears. Really popping the ribs here. Little arch in your low spine. I find this really gets a good stretch going on. You can always side bend. Whew. Definitely feeling it in the core. Let's come on up. We're gonna do a little bit of arm work with some core. So make your way on up to a kind of modified side plank here. So you only need 1 weight for this. I'll face you here. So you're gonna come onto your left hand. Your right leg is nice and long. Your left knee is bent. That weight is gonna go into your right hand overhead. From here, you're gonna go into a tricep extension just to start. We wanna make sure that the elbow stays on top of the shoulder. You can look down here at the floor or you can look straight ahead. Okay, option also to look up at your hand. Try not to crank the neck, just kind of pick a direction here that feels good. And then once we do a couple more of these, we're gonna start to add that right leg. Let's go for another 3 here. Exhale on that extension. Inhale to bend for 2. Last one, bend, stretch and hold. Let's add that right leg lifting. As you bend the right elbow, we tap the right toes down. Exhale to lift them both. Now, as we're doing these, what the body's gonna wanna do is arching your spine. So I'll kind of demo here. Hopefully you can see. You're gonna wanna arch the back and just let the core go and kind of do some like rocking like this. So we wanna make sure that the pelvis stays nice and stable, and all you're focusing on is the lifting and the lowering of that right leg. The arm should just be doing a little bit of work here as well, okay? So keep going with these. Exhale, lifting both. Inhale to tap. We've got 3 here. We're gonna hold it up in 2. Last one, hold arm and leg up. Hold. From here, let's pulse that right leg up and down. We're gonna go into threading that right arm with your weight in 4, in 3, in 2. Last one, hold. Let's go into a thread the needle, reaching the hand underneath the ribs, and let's send that right arm up. Inhale, thread. Try to get your midsection, your ribs, your belly button to be parallel to your mat. Exhale to lift. Inhale, we thread. Keeping that right leg nice and high. Let's go for another 4. Pushing through that left palm so your supporting arm is nice and strong here. Let's go for 2. Nice work. Last one. Let's find that thread. We're going to pulse in that thread for 5, for 4. We're going to keep that right leg lifted, flipping onto both hands. 2 and 1. Drop your weight, flip onto both hands. Right leg stays lifted. From here, turn those elbows to face your left leg, going into a nice tricep push-up. And exhale, release. Inhale, coming down, and exhale to lift. Now, whenever I teach these tricep push-ups, we very much get confused with a tricep and a chest push-up. So, tricep push-ups, obviously you're targeting the triceps. How do we do that? When we're bending the elbows, we want to make sure that they're pointing to the opposite side. Okay, so pointing towards the back or your back is really important here. The next kind of thing I'll tell clients to do is to feel the arms kind of graze the body, the ribs. I normally say if you can't feel that, it's most likely that your elbows are starting to come out to the side, which would target the chest a little bit more. So try to keep those elbows turned to face away. Would be best to target those triceps. I know it's a really hard thing to do. Let's go for another 3 here. Whew. Let's go for 2. The next time you find that tricep push-up, you're going to hold halfway. Hold it here. Let's pulse up and down. Nice and slow here. That right leg is going to want to start to hover over your mat. Keep it lifted. We've got 5, 4, 3. Good. 2. You're going to hold halfway on 1. Hold it here. Right leg pulses up and down. Up and down for 5, for 4. Last 3, hold in 2, hold right leg up, hold her 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send it back. Nice work. Find a quick child's pose here. Stretching out the arms, bringing your bum towards your heels. Then roll yourself on up, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little arm interlude before we do our side plank series on the other side. So go ahead and grab your other weight. You have the option of staying on a nice kneel for this. You can come up to a standing kneel, and you can also add some movement. I'll just start kneeling, and then I might just make my way up gradually to make it a little bit harder. You're gonna start with your arms at a nice 90-degree bend. We're gonna work those rotator cuffs. On your exhale, you're gonna bring the arms out, and then you're gonna return them in. Notice how my elbows are pinched at the ribs here. We don't want to let the elbows leave the body. So we're gonna stay nice and close. And all you're doing is rotating from the elbow down, working those rotator cuffs, lots of shoulder work. Exhale to open, inhale to close. Now, if I wanna make it harder, I can always pop up onto my knees, and you can roll your mat if you need to kind of cushion those knees a little bit. Exhale out. Inhale, return. Let's keep going here. If you have yourself on that standing kneel, we want to make sure that your tailbone is nice and tucked. So we don't want any butt wink in here. Want to stay nice and tall, finding length through that midsection again. So imagine that zipper, you're zipping up and growing 2 inches taller. We're going to add a little bit of a reach here. So open up, and then you're going to reach out to the sides, kind of like a T, but you're on a diagonal here. So rotate out, shoot forward on that 45, inhale, pinch the elbows, and then exhale, return. You got another, let's go for 5 here. You're trying to get those arms to get to shoulder height. Out, reach, whew, in, and return. We've got 3 like this. We're just gonna do those reaches and then pinch the elbows to our sides. For 2, last one here, finish this off. Keep the elbows in and let's reach out and in. If I want to distract myself a little bit here, I could add some movement, sitting down onto the heels. As you exhale, you're going to push those arms out and come up into your standing kneel. Exhale, big push. Inhale, return. Exhale, send it out. Let's go for 5 here. Those 5 pounds are really adding up. Let's go for 4. We're going to go into some shoulder presses, just basic arms here, but they are still burning for 2. Last one, push those arms out and up. We got some shoulder presses down, and you're going to reach. I'm going to scooch myself back here. So I'm going into a little bit kind of like an Arnold press. So as I shoulder press, my palms are going to face each other. And then as you lower down, you're going to bring your arms to that cactus position. Up and return. Yeah. Exhale, up, and inhale, come down. Let's go for 5. I've come down to my knees. I couldn't do it. Let's go for 3. We've got 2. Last one, find this cactus and hold. Hold it here. Take a big breath. And exhale it out. We've got one more big breath. Exhale, good. And lower those arms. Whew. All right, letting go here. Keep one weight with you. We're gonna go back to our side plank on the other side. So rolling out those shoulders. Take that one weight. We're gonna be on the right knee and right hand. Send the left leg out long. Making sure that the wrist and the shoulder in a nice line. Bring that weight up with your left arm. We're gonna start with those tricep extensions. You're gonna bring that elbow back behind the head. And then exhale, you're gonna reach. Finding a spot to look at with your head here. And again, you're finding that slight pelvic tilt so that your butt doesn't flare up. Inhale, we bend. Exhale, send that arm up. We're gonna go for another 6 here. We're gonna start to add that left leg lifting and lowering. The neck can start to feel heavy here, so keep it nice and active so it doesn't start to dip and kind of look all funky. We've got 2 here. The next time you extend that left arm, we're gonna add that left leg. Inhale, toes tap, arm bends. Exhale, send it up. Let's go for 5. We're gonna keep that left leg lifted and thread that left arm. We've got 3, 2. Last one, let's hold arm and leg up. We're going into that thread. Rotating your chest towards your mat. Exhale, reach that arm up. Keeping that left leg lifted at hip height if you can. Good, inhale, take it down. Exhale, reach. We've got 5 here. We're gonna pulse into that thread. In 4. Really try to rotate a little bit more each time to target those obliques. 2 more here. Keep that left leg nice and high. You got this. Last one, find your thread and hold. Let's pulse it here. We've got 6. We drop that weight. Turn to face your mat. Left leg stays up for 3. In 2. Last one. Left leg stays up. Drop your weight. Rotate to face your mat. Turn those elbows to face your right leg. We've got those tricep push-ups. Really finding a nice bend here. That chest will dive towards the floor. Gonna get your forehead nice and close to your mat. Exhale, pushing through the palms. Send the arms nice and long. Big exhale here. Inhale down. Exhale, come on up. Let's go for another 6 here. We're gonna hold halfway and pulse in 5. You're doing great. Maybe you get a little bit lower. 4. Point those left toes. 3. Watch that the elbows don't flare out. 2. The next time you find your bend, we hold little pulses of the arms for 8. 7. Let's pulse that left leg. In 5. We've got 4, 3, 2. Hold it low. Let's pulse that left leg. And then we're going to hold it here in 3, in 2. Hold that left leg up. Hold for 4. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Send it back. Whew. Nice job. Take a big breath and roll yourself on up. All right, let's do a couple of stretches of the arms, and then I'll get you right on out of here. So take one arm, just thread it across. Give yourself a nice big stretch here. You can do this on your knees or cross-legged. Just rolling the shoulders back and down, nice and open here. Honestly, I don't think you need a 45, 50-minute workout all the time. Sometimes a 20-minute workout is just what you need, and you can always repeat it. You can do it a couple times or even go slower. I find that you can really engage the muscles a little bit more. If you go slower, you actually are thinking about what's going on a little bit more. Or you can always add a little bit of extra weight. So instead of 5s, you could go for 8s or 10s. That really adds on to it. Adding more props, ankle weights, lots of stuff you could do. Let's go to the other side here. Big breath. Whew. I feel like arms are so underrated. We don't do arms enough. So I'm glad we did some arms today. Let's roll those shoulders up, get them a little bit more mobile. Let's find some cactus arms here, a little bit of spinal rotations, loosening up a little bit. And then we'll stretch out that core. You can come onto your hands and your belly, send the legs out nice and long, come all the way down to your mat. Engage the glutes all the way to your toes. Hands are underneath the shoulders and your head is hovering over your mat. As you exhale, finding a nice upward dog. You can go into that full upward dog if you want, lifting the knees off your mat, or you can go into that cobra. Big inhale here. As you exhale, curl the toes, send the hips back. Find a nice downward facing dog, dropping the heels as close to your mat as you can, really wrapping the arms around the outside. Big breath here. As you exhale, finish it off. Walk your hands to your knees, slowly roll yourself all the way up. Good work, everybody. All right, that is it for today. If you like this video, let me know. And if you want more of these, let me know what you want us to work on next. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.